Strange, the things you remember. The people, the places, the moments in time burned into your heart forever. While others fade in the mist. Once in a great while, humanity comes across an event, literally shaking the very foundation of our individual beliefs. We witness life-changing moments that ignite the soul, help rediscover our purpose, and inspire us to believe that there is something bigger than our current reality. All it takes is just one small window, one instantaneous opportunity, one brave and selfless sacrifice that will change history forever. COVID has disrupted the very fundamentals of life. The socio-economic pressures are painfully real and is felt by all. Some say it is a pandemic no more. It is now endemic to the very fabric of what we call life. At times it seems we see no path before us. We simply take a step and then another, ever forward, ever onward. But one day we will turn around and look back to see that each step we've taken was a choice to go left, to go right, sometimes between life and death. And the sum of those choices become our life. Some say this is part of human evolution, but today we say, let this be our revolution. The symbol of our convention is fire. Throughout history, this element has been seen as a vital symbol of life and progress. It is also a universal symbol for two things relevant in our situation today. First, fire is a symbol of purification. In the course of riding this pandemic wave, we find ourselves purged. The little things that normally cost us worry and anxiety have ceased to matter. We have been purged of the non-essentials. We have been purified to what is truly important. The last 18 months have definitely brought families much closer together. Family conversations have become richer and more meaningful. The rather difficult situation had surprisingly brought heartfelt moments. While one can argue that we had more meetings compared to pre-pandemic periods, in my lull moments, albeit limited, watching my child in class was such a priceless moment. While all of us do our best in navigating through the concrete jungle, we realize that we are doing so, in the end, for our families and loved ones. The lockdown has also enriched our spirit, and we have strengthened our faith in God. Never before have we become more intimate, more open, more vulnerable, and more faithful to the promise of a better tomorrow. We have learned to worship in the safety of our hearts. And last but not the least, love for country and love for our countrymen. Never before have we seen such stirring scenes of selfless heroism from our courageous frontliners, our colleagues, and business owners who continue to be stewards of the well-being and safety of their employees and their future. Second, fire is a symbol of rebirth and resurrection. And the most intense image of this is the fiery phoenix, rising from the flames, stronger and more powerful than ever. We need to emerge from this crisis stronger. We cannot just rebuild and recover. We have to rediscover and redefine ourselves and our businesses. And this is the essence of our digital convention. This is not just our evolution. This must be our revolution. So what is a revolution? A revolution is a sharp and sudden change made on something. For such a movement to start, an external force or a cause must spark the initiation of this movement. From the fall of ancient Rome to the beginning of the 14th century, this era known as the Dark Ages of pandemics, famine, and death gave way to the brilliant era of light known as the Renaissance. This age of cultural, artistic, economic, and political rebirth from the 14th to the 17th century stemmed from a revolutionary movement known as humanism, a school of thought that promoted the idea that man was the center of his own universe, and people should embrace human achievements in education, classical arts, literature, and science. Changing norms and mindsets, on the other hand, fueled the scientific revolution in the 1540s. New developments in fields such as mathematics, physics, astronomy, biology, and chemistry enkindled the transformation of our views about nature. Lastly, we have the revolution that set the stage for the modern world. The first industrial revolution took place in Britain from 1760 up to 1830. Focus shifted from agriculture to industrialization. This saw the emergence of the steam engine and innovations that enabled large-scale manufacturing. The second revolution came about with the invention of electricity and enabled mass production from the late 1800s to the early 1900s. The third industrial revolution was all about computers. From the 1950s onwards, computers and digital systems enabled new ways of processing and sharing information. Transistors, microprocessors, robotics, and automation. Not to mention the internet and mass communications would eventually allow for the entry of globalization. And now we are faced with the fourth industrial revolution, also referred to as Industry 4.0 or 4IR. According to the World Economic Forum, which coined the phrase, it is a revolution of cyber-physical systems, that is, the merging of the capabilities of both human and machine. A fusion of leading-edge production techniques and smart systems that integrate with organizations and people. An era where the idea of renewable energy will become more than a dream. Instead, renewables are central to the meeting the energy demands that the fourth industrial revolution will bring. Occurring simultaneously are waves of breakthroughs in areas ranging from gene sequencing, nanotechnology, and quantum computing. It is in this period that we will see more revolutionary technologies such as AI, genome editing, 3D printing, autonomous vehicles, and last but not the least, Internet of Things or IoT. Some view the fourth industrial revolution as a confluence of the first three. And nowhere in our history has change come with such velocity and great intent. And so here we are. Whatever happened in the distant past and the recent past is what led us to the here and now. Make no mistake, we are in the middle of a revolution. And we must not leave anyone behind. This is a pivotal moment that will forever mark our place in history. To harness technology and effectively navigate the new world of business, This revolution is mandating us not only to refresh our strategies, but more importantly, to rethink and rewire our mindsets and attitudes. We must challenge the very nature of how our brains are wired and how we view things. I'm not talking about just mental health, but also trying to achieve neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity will include two things: neurogenesis, the growth of new neurons in our brain, and synaptogenesis, establishing new connections between neurons in our brain. Scientifically, this allows our brain to create new neural pathways and alter existing ones in order to adapt to new experiences, learn new information, and create new memories. The human brain is truly extraordinary. Unlike computers, which are built to certain specifications and receive software updates periodically, our brains can actually receive hardware updates in addition to software updates. Different pathways form and fall dormant, are created and discarded according to our experiences. When we learn something new, we create new connections between neurons. We rewire our brains to adapt to new circumstances. This happens on a daily basis, but it's also something we can encourage and stimulate. According to Christopher Bergland in 2017, one could speculate that this process opens up the possibility to reinvent yourself and move away from the status quo, or to overcome past traumatic events that evoke anxiety and stress. Hardwire fear-based memories often lead to avoidance behaviors that can hold you back from living your life to the fullest. This led to the rise in popularity of mindfulness meditation. Proponents of mindfulness meditation have long thought that meditation can actually cause physical changes in the brain. As it turns out, they were right. Mindfulness meditation can in fact change the brain through neuroplasticity. Jessica Cassidy writes this about mindfulness meditation and neuroplasticity. With meditation, your brain is effectively being rewired. As your feelings and thoughts morph toward a more pleasant outlook, your brain is also transforming, making this way of thought more of a default. The more your brain changes from meditation, the more you react to everyday life with that same sense of calm, compassion, and awareness. So let this 3-day convention serve as your executive mindfulness session to achieve neuroplasticity. This will be the spark that will initiate our movement, our revolution. This will enable us to reinvent ourselves, renew our focus, reset our strategies, reboot our energies for that fresh new beginning, rediscover the exciting, positive, and invigorating possibilities technology could bring, reinvigorate our passions, rewire our brains. At PLDT Enterprise, our vision is to make a positive impact on every single business. And we wish to fulfill this by providing innovative and revolutionary technologies that will deliver real value to organizations and businesses regardless of their size. All these technologies that are available now and those that will be available in the near future will be part of what we will cover during this 3-day gathering. The PLDT Group has consistently been ramping up its investments in expanding its infrastructure to address the growing demands of our valued customers. Our domestic fixed line network has expanded to 524,000 kilometers of fiber across the archipelago and is continuing to widen its reach to enable more Filipinos and businesses. Internationally, we are a partner in 14 cable systems across continents, with more coming online in the next 3 years to support the growth of connectivity demand as the Philippines becomes an even more global economy. Smart's 5G network, meanwhile, is now available in over 4,000 sites in Metro Manila, Cebu, Davao, and other major cities here in the Philippines. And we won't stop there. In total, Smart operates 68,500 base stations supporting the digital lifestyle of 39.5 million mobile data subscribers. Finally, through EPLDT, the group operates the largest data center footprint in the country with nearly 9,000 racks across 10 sites nationwide. EPLDT's data centers carry globally recognized certifications and have been home to the most critical infrastructure of many local and international clients, ensuring our digital economy runs without worry or fail. These investments in the enablers of our digital economy create a situation for a perfect storm that can ignite a revolution. To cite a very promising and economy-moving example, the unprecedented surge in digital adoption in the country and the radical shift in consumer behavior have caught the attention of large global technology giants, cloud, content, and e-commerce brands very familiar to us, elite mega-cap organizations who are collectively known as hyperscalers. Now is the time to reimagine the world of business as we would like it to be. This is not pure imagination. It is up to all of us to make dreams into reality. Strange, the things you remembered. The people, the places, the moments in time burned into your heart forever. While others fade in the mist. We must not allow today to fade. Today, we take a step and then another. Ever forward, ever onwards. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our revolution, the Philippine Digital Convention of 2021.